So my friend forwarded me a link to a YouTube video on the channel called The Real News Network. And the title of the video is called Campaign Calls on Bernie Sanders to Lead a New Party. And I'll include the link to that video in the description beneath this one so you can click on that and watch it if you so desire. So I watched this video, and it's an interview with Nick Brana, who is the founder of draftbernie.org, and he was recruiting Bernie Sanders to head up the People's Party. And so after watching this interview, all I could think was, Nick Brana is the faux Shizzle Saint Nizzle. And it was really interesting listening to him talk, because I wasn't only tuning into the other side and getting their reaction to him, but it was also my own mortal reaction to what he was saying. And so he made some key points where I was like, hey, yeah, cool, all right. Because I'm pretty far out there. My truth has led me pretty far out to sea. So I really appreciated him describing things in layman's terms, because I realized he was talking about all the stuff that the other side was doing in normal mortal speak, which I really appreciated. So he said 82% of people said to New York Times that they were disgusted with the election and the way it unfolded. There's a reason for that. It's because people's free will were tampered with. They had a choice between dark versus dark, when it was actually supposed to be a choice of light versus dark, because that's a representation of proper free will. So because we ended up with Hillary versus Trump as opposed to Bernie versus Trump, which is what was supposed to happen, people were disgusted and not happy. So that actually makes sense. Intuitively speaking, that makes a lot of sense why that ended up happening and why people ended up feeling that way. And so because our free will was tampered with and it ends up negatively affecting the masses, what's going on with U.S. politics is divine intervention is currently taking place. You are about to witness, well, you have been witnessing a divine plan get carried out, but he's going to turn up the volume soon, so it's going to get a little more intense, the divine intervention. So take out the popcorn and Coke and watch the show. It's occurring via my videos. The divine is talking to everyone via my videos and my acid trip of a life. So stay tuned and watch this freak show because it's free. Number two, they're also saying that this is Bernie Sanders' life purpose. It's his life purpose to be president. It is not Donald Trump's. So because of that, he's pursuing his heart. He has pure intentions. So he has universal energies on his side to push him up like a rocket. And he, has universal support in becoming president because it's his life purpose. So people will be attracted to Bernie not only because of his platform, not only because they agree with his policies and that the words coming out of his mouth make sense to them, but because of who he is as a person. Everyone has intuition, so everyone is fully capable of doing a read on Bernie Sanders themselves. So whatever their gut tells them, whatever their intuition tells them, it's going to push them towards him, because if they're intuitive at all, they're going to be guided towards him and feel the desire to want to support him. They're going to want to. He's going to appeal to them. He's going to be this light of truth that people want to grab onto. And that really has to do with his life purpose. A soul is a soul is a soul. And so if I do a read on your soul and I see that, we have a president where it's not his life purpose to be president, and his decision to pursue that was ego-based, no energy behind him. If I look at a guy that's not our president, but it's his life purpose and soul contract, and he has pure intentions, I'm like, ooh, all the energy is over there. A while back, I did a reading for a guy where I did a life purpose reading on his soul before I got on the phone with him. And I listed off these different alternate realities of paths that he, could pursue with regards to his life purpose, and essentially how to share his God-given gifts and talents with the world. So at the end of my little, diatribe, he said, I'm really surprised you didn't bring up acting. And I said, why? And he's like, well, because I want to act. Like, that's what I want to do. I always wanted to be an actor. That's my desire. That's my passion. And so I was really surprised, because that rarely happens in a reading. So I tuned in the other side and I'm like, what gives? What's the deal? Why don't you guys bring up acting? And they were shaking their head no. And I was like, acting isn't his life purpose? That's kind of weird, because he feels really like adamant and passionate about it. And so he said, I always wanted to be famous. And I was like, oh, that's why. He always wanted to be famous. That's his ego, kids. That's his ego. His intentions for acting were not pure. Just wanted the attention, wanted the admiration, wanted the fame. No universal support at all. So do you see how like people look at me like, well, Trump's president, you need to embrace that. It's like, no, you need to embrace the fact that there's a soul in the White House. It's not their life purpose. But we do have a soul that it is their life purpose to be president. He's walking around. So yeah, let's put him in that position and the United States will be 10 times better off. Because he'll have universal energies on his side, which he already does, obviously. And then we'll have universal energies on our side as a collective, as a country, right? So that's where the energy is if it's someone's life purpose. So, you know, that's his deal. I mean, that's just a fact. You know, people can have emotion about it. They can have opinion about it. They can throw stones at me. You can't change it. It's his life purpose to be president. You can't change it. So one of the things that I really liked about Nick Brana's interview is that he talked about energy and enthusiasm. And so I want to read a quote that I wrote down from the video. He said, reforming the Democratic Party doesn't inspire the same level of energy and enthusiasm that Bernie did on the campaign. Why? Can people stop and ask themselves, why? It's because the Democratic Party has no energy behind them. They're like a deflated balloon. Bernie does, though. Bernie has energy behind him. We're all part of a collective consciousness, and the collective consciousness knows that Bernie Sanders is our highest good. So he's the one with all the energy. So no, the Democratic Party does not inspire the same energy and enthusiasm that Bernie does. He's the one that does it because of who he is as an individual, heart-focused work, pure intentions, life purpose. It's him. He's the dude. He's the soul. This big magnet. This big magnet is basically what he is. So I like that Nick worded it that way. I'm like, hey, that's a nice normal way of talking about what I'm saying is universal support, universal energies. Bernie has it, the Democratic Party doesn't. Sometimes you gotta cut the weight off your ankle to rise up to the surface. And that's what Bernie has to do. He has to separate out from them. And so I just want to make sure I covered all because I'm not reading my writing very well here. I just wrote down that we're all innately intuitive and people on a gut level can do a read on him themselves. So people are drawn to him because of their own intuition. It's not like a bunch of robots just but people are drawn to him based on their own intuition and what they're getting on him. Along those same lines, momentum. Nick also mentioned momentum. Pretty much the same thing. I want to read that quote. Bernie will join us when he sees that momentum is on our side. Nick, yes. That's an understatement. You have a ton of momentum. It's my job. It's my job to work with universal energies all day. So as somebody who does that, you get like 10 thumbs up from the other side. Yes, you do have momentum on your side. You are aligned with the truth and the light, and you are basically doing God's work on earth and creating this movement. Okay, so bravo. You get 10 thumbs up from the other side. Round of applause for me. You're doing awesome. The forces of nature are on your side. Okay, People's Party, you as an individual, Nick, hey, the People's Party's great. You know what the People's Party really is? It's the truth. It's the truth because the truth is an absolute. So what are the absolutes? That's really what, the People's Party is about, taking care of people. Now, here's another thing along those same lines, Nick, just wanted to let you know, this momentum that you have, okay, and the quote that I just said, let me read that again. Bernie will join us when he sees that momentum is on our side. Momentum is on your side, okay? It is. However, the divine is looking at Bernie Sanders right now, and he's watching him. And he's just sitting there, and he's just staring at him. And he's like, what is he going to do? What is Bernie going to do? Bernie is being asked to take a leap of faith. A blind leap of faith. What does that mean? It means you're sitting there in this warm jacuzzi, right? Saying, hey, Bernie, come on in. The water's warm. It's okay. Okay, and you aren't correct. It's safe for him to jump. Water's warm, right? This is a good leap of faith for him to take. It's a grandiose leap of faith, but it's a good leap of faith for him to take, right? But you're sitting there, and you want to be able to give him more. You want to be able to show him more proof that everything's going to be okay. And I'm telling you, that's not really going to happen. You're going to be able to show Bernie as much as the other side wants you to. That's my point. You are going to build up this movement as much as you can, and then it's going to mellow out a little bit to where the divine is going to look at Bernie and be like, okay, you either trust me or you don't. This is about Bernie Sanders trusting God, taking a leap of faith, trusting himself, trusting in his own intuition and his own read on the situation, his own gut, trusting in his own ability as a leader and an independent, party strategist. So this is about Bernie and him as a person and him as a soul and his ability to take that leap of faith. So Nick, just letting you know, based on that information, right, you can only do so much from where you're sitting. I'm telling you, there's reasons why, okay? It's deliberate. But you do have the support of universal energies, okay? You're doing a great job. You do have support of universal energies. Okay, now, what are they going to do in the meantime, right? They're going to tickle his feet. Basically, Bernie is going to become more and more annoyed with the Democratic Party, and he's not going to know why. Everything's just going to start getting to him. He's going to get really annoyed. He's going to get pissed off just as a means of a catalyst for change. Everything's going to be a struggle. It's just going to feel more and more like he's not energetically attached to that party. He's just going to feel separated out from them emotionally. He's going to feel like he doesn't have as much to leave behind. This is energetically the other side's way of trying to make it a smoother transition for him, so that if and when he does leave, it's smoother for him. It's a smoother path. He doesn't feel like he's leaving just a ton of stuff behind. It's like stick a fork in him and turn him over kind of thing. So he will face challenges and he will get more and more uncomfortable because that's the other side tickling his feet. Another reminder is that this free will decision affects the masses. So this is about Bernie and his blind leap of faith as an individual, his belief in himself, that kind of thing, but his free will decision also affects the masses. So that's another reason this is happening. The other side can be kind of convincing when you have the ability to help people in a profound way. So that's another dynamic that's going on there as well. So another thing, just in closing, Mr. Nick, is I just want to let you know that you rock. I've heard your name mentioned peripherally. I heard about the People's Party a while ago, but I'm only really allowed to follow the news from a distance and just kind of stick my nose in here and there because the other side likes to keep my brain nice and clean. They don't want me absorbing a lot of details. They like me being kind of the big picture thinker. So when I saw this interview and saw what you look like, because I've heard your name here and there, saw what you look like and heard what you had to say, I was like, this guy rocks. This guy rocks. You are aligned with truth. You're aligned with the light. You're aligned with divine intent. You are coming from a place of heart, not ego. You have pure intentions. This is heart focused work for you. And so one of the things the other side is asking me to tell you is to ask for what you want and ask for what you need. Just put your order in with the universe, you know, sing in the shower. I need more money to pursue this path. Strength, confident, courage, you know, whatever you need from the other side, they're there for you to fulfill your requests, as well as Bernie's, obviously. So just wanted to throw that out for you as well, that you're doing a great job. You've got awesome karma. You know, you're basically doing God's work on earth. So bravo, Nick. So just kind of wanted to let you know the dynamics of what was going on the back end with regards to universal energies, and how you might have a little bit more support than you know. And to everyone else watching, in the meantime, take care and be well. Thank you.